Imagine a business, your business, where everything runs smoothly, all your activities, your processes are streamlined, and your presence isn't mandatory for your business to be effective. Welcome. My name is Chinelo Ononoku. I'm a certified business strategist. I'm a property entrepreneur. I'm also the founder of EntrepreMums, a community in which I empower mums to be their best in life and in business, to succeed in life and in business. I'm also your host on this show, Moving the Needle Forward, where we talk about small actions that you can take to make tangible change in your life and your business. So what I'm talking about is not a dream, it's a tangible reality using tech, specifically SaaS, software as a service, to empower yourself in your business such that things can run smoothly. It's what we do as EntrepreMums, isn't it? Working smarter, not harder. Now, this episode is because of a question of a member of my community called Nicole King. Props, shout out to you, Nicole. She asked about how we can leverage software as a service in our businesses. And I said to her, I've got you. So Nicole, I've got you. Now I've made some notes, so you'll see me looking across at the notes I made, just so I don't forget anything I want to talk to you about. Okay? Now, firstly, actually, let's talk about it. What is software as a service? You'll probably have seen the acronym many places, SaaS, SaaS. It literally is, software as a service is literally leveraging software being made accessible to you, either as a person, an individual, a company, a business owner, whatever it is, accessible in a way that you don't have to fork out a lot of money. And it is so easy for you. So you don't have to make a massive investment. You can access the software online without having to download it locally onto your site or server, whatever it is you use. An example will be subscription boxes or things that you pay for and you log on. If you use, like we do in our business, Slack for communication, that software as a service, so we can actually access it from wherever we are in the world. Different people access it. We're in the same software, but it's not downloaded locally anywhere unless they want to, but they don't need to actually. So that's an example of it. For me, being a property entrepreneur, one of the property strategies we used is service accommodation for those of us in the UK, or short lets for you in the States and other places. So it's similar to that, the way my brain works. I tend to use visuals and draw parallels so I understand things properly. So it is similar to that, providing a short-term let or service accommodation. You can pay for the privilege, if you like, of staying in somebody's property, but you're not responsible for the maintenance. You're not responsible for any of the bills. You're literally responsible for the things, the disposable things that you use, such as your food and your clothes. Literally, if you were to stay in one of our places, that's all you need, your food and your clothes. We actually provide some things that help you get started with the toiletries and stuff like that. So software as a service is similar to that. You don't need to think about maintaining the software, paying for upgrades, the initial outlay that you have to pay for a software. None of that is your business. You just literally log on, you pay for the subscription as you would with a short-term let or service accommodation, and whoever provides that software, it's their business to make it work for you. So why is this important? Firstly, the three main things actually. So scalability, it's easy for you to scale your business without the expense. So for us, we have a team of virtual assistants that work with us, and they're spread, most of them in the Philippines, but we don't need to buy computers for them to use, as would have been the case previously. You'd have to buy a laptop for the person to use. They'd have to pay for the license for software, which they would download. And then if they leave, you have to think about another laptop if they're not in the same local area, all that kind of stuff. So as an IT consultant, which I used to be previously, we would then have to post our laptop back to whoever the client is. In the meantime, they'd have to buy another laptop whilst the consultant who came over to take my job or to replace me as my contract has ended, they'd have to find a laptop for that particular consultant whilst waiting for me to post mine back. And it would depend on where I'd been posted next as to how quickly they'd get my laptop from me. So can you see the capital investment that would go in and then be tied down because of the resources needed? But imagine working now where everybody works centrally using cloud software, cloud-based tech. None of that is necessary. So if I was still working in IT as a consultant, I'd use my own laptop. We'd make sure that all the security things are in place, and then I literally have to log onto the cloud and work. Whoever my boss would be at the time, or my employer, they'd literally be paying for the software, the cloud-based access, which is a lot cheaper than the hardware they would have had to have been forking out for, or the licenses to other software. So there is that, the scalability. Accessibility, which I've also covered, a lot more people have access to the software without having to be having to be together in a physical location, accessible from anywhere, the cloud. So if you use Google Drive, for instance, to store your documents, whatever documents you use, software as a service, yeah, it's accessible to many. There's a security of it. And I've also addressed the third bit, which is the price. Because of competition in tech, because of the availability of knowledge in tech, the competition is so strong that you can get so many kinds of software that you need for whatever price point you can afford, almost whatever price point you can afford. If you want to pay in the tens per month, even in a single unit, you could get subscriptions for £5 a month. Say, for instance, with Trello, the starter package, I believe, is $5 a month, which for us is about £3.50, £4, or just under £4 a month. So, or to the enterprise ones, if you wanted something more robust, more expensive, you needed more features. So cost is also an advantage, a reason why you look at software as a service. Now, I did say I had notes for you, so I wouldn't forget. The other things I wanted to talk about. Oh yes, whilst leveraging software as a service is quite transformative and powerful, especially for us as EntrepreMums, such that we can be free to actually live our lives and run our businesses without compromise, knowing that our standards are met, our quality isn't diluted. There is an even more exciting, exhilarating aspect to software as a service, which is about you becoming a provider of software as a service. So this is a situation where you'd not just be solving your own problems, but you'd be solving the problems of others and getting paid for it. That's a different level and something that you can explore. But I thought this talk wouldn't be complete without me mentioning that. Obviously, to provide that, you'd need to do a few things. So, for instance, you'd have to, firstly, you'd need to identify a need, come up with an idea, develop that idea, validate, do your market research to validate your idea, and then launch. That's an overview of the things you'd need to do, but there is the opportunity there, and it's easier now more than ever before to launch something in the arena of software as a service. You don't need to be tech savvy like I am. You can find people who are tech savvy who can help you do it at reasonable costs, such that you can become an investment. The important thing for me, if I were to do this, the important thing would be that you are meeting a need, solving a problem for yourself. So if it doesn't actually in the end become the money spinner that we all hope our businesses would be, it would have solved the problem for you anyway, and maybe for people in your niche. But if you'd like to discuss that further, that's something, send me a DM or contact me on socials, depending on where you're watching this. Depending on where you're watching this, you should have access to me via the socials, or put a comment below and let me know that you'd like to talk about it, and I can talk we can have a conversation and see where we go from there. Now, you're moving the needle forward action for this week is go through your business, because we've been talking about systems, we've been talking about automation and delegation. That's a thread that's been running through, but if you've been following for the past few episodes, go through your business and see where you would, so under those three categories I mentioned, scale, accessibility, and cost, concerning with regards to your tech, where do you think you need help? And go online. Don't spend a long time on this. Go online and see, Google what service, what software there is available that could help you with that need. Don't sign up to anything. This is literally just an exercise to see what there is available, to get your brain juices working, if you're not already thinking along those lines, to see what there is available that you can actually use to free your time up even more, such that, I keep saying this, you can be free to run your life and your business successfully without compromise, gaining time freedom, which is what we're all in here for, isn't it? So that's your moving the needle forward action for this week. Look at your processes and see where a software as a service could help you move forward. So that's me for this week. I hope this has been helpful. I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message, contact me on the socials. But for now, till we speak again next week, look after yourselves, look after your families, and keep building your businesses for legacy. Bye.